Hello. Hey. Hi, how you doing? Welcome back to this Wednesday working session and playing as well. Let me just make sure that my mic is on. You would be amazed how many times that has happened. All right, we're good. All right. So, last session, Monday, we managed to get getting a modification to the database. We are now calculating fuel efficiency every time you add a record, and we store those in both miles per gallon and kilometers per liter. And now the task today is to aggregate those to get an average efficiency. So that's what we are going to start doing today. Once we get that done, we move on to the next dashboard data display. I don't remember which one it is, but we'll get to that in just a second. Let me just move on to our working station. Okay. Yeah, I know. Actually, let me mute all notifications. I don't want any disturbances while we work. First, I'm going to pull up the mockup again, just to remember what we are doing and how it should look like. Where's the dashboard? Is this one? No. Login page. Dashboard. Here we go. We grab all of the body. And put it here. All right. We are working on this one here. Average efficiency. This number will depend on a saved user setting. So the user can choose whether to show this to display data in kilometers or miles. I think it's the setting. We'll check. Based on that, we're going to calculate that efficiency. All right. In case you need a little reminder of how this works, we are using a booted function on the model, which basically gives us a hook into one of the lifecycle events. In this case, we are focusing on the creating lifecycle event, which happens right before, which is passed in, is about to be saved to the database, just before that. So before it's persisted, we can make calculations, modifications to the data in that model. In this case, we are taking the difference in miles and in kilometers from the current odometer of the record that is about to be saved and the last odometer. When it's in kilometers, we need to make the conversion from miles to kilometers, and we also get it in miles. We also make the conversion of the fuel amount if it's in liters or just in gallons. And then we get the average efficiency, or the efficiency, by dividing the difference in the odometer by the fuel amount that we just put in. And then we save those in two extra columns that we created in the fuel entries table. One is called KPL, which holds the fuel efficiency in kilometers per liter, and the other one MPG, which holds the fuel efficiency in miles per gallon. And that's what we accomplish on Monday. Today, since we have, hold on a second, my thing just disconnected. If you plug it in, it'll be better. Boop. There, okay. Today, since we have these two columns, let me go and check what is the user setting. We should, first of all, get a Vite server going, and then open Chrome. What? Oh, come on, stop. Let's go to the dashboard, actually. Are you stuck again? No, you're running. Why are you taking so long? Oh, internet is bad right now. Crap. I hate this. Nope, it's back. Okay. Hands off. Got a dip in connection right there. We're good to go now. Yeah, seems like it. Hopefully that was the only one. I apologize for the inconvenience. All right, log in. All right. In the user profile settings, we have the unit section. Okay, you can choose basically whether you want to show the distance in miles and the volume in liters. However, the data in the dashboard will only look at the distance. If you choose miles, we will show the average efficiency in miles per gallon. If you choose kilometers, we will show the efficiency in kilometers per liter. So we're just looking at this one. Basically because we cannot have kilometers per gallon. That'll make no sense. Ads are about to start, so let's wait. See if Twitch. Come on. Come on. There you go.
The stream is now paused for ads.
While we're here, just to let you know, I'm going to do something slightly different today regarding the content, more specifically the gaming part. I have heard concerns about mixing content on YouTube, mainly because people who subscribe to the channel subscribe because of a specific type of content, which is Laravel and coding, and mixing that with gameplay from the end of the stream, it's kind of confusing, and I don't think that is good for the health of the YouTube channel, which is not enormous, but it does have some traction. So what I'm going to do, if you're watching on YouTube, is that by the end of the coding session, I'm going to end the transmission on YouTube. And if you want to hang out and watch me play video games, I'll keep all of the video game content only on Twitch. So if you want to jump over, the link for my Twitch channel is in the description. And that's over. Good. All right, if we go to fuel entries for vehicle ID number 1, we already have 2, although this one is not correct because some oddity in SQLite's decimal storage system. For some reason, if you just spit out the let me show you where the code is. Like this. So before, I was just making a division here and then putting it in the column of the model and then saving that into the database. For some reason, that gives us a weird value stored in SQLite. So something about the precision, when you do a division in PHP, you end up with a very high precision number, a very high precision float number. And if you just spit that out into SQLite, you end up with something like this. Even though the calculation is correct, it is not stored correctly. What I found is that as long as you format this with a shorter precision, I chose 2 decimal point numbers in this case. As long as you do that and you store that in the database, the number then becomes what you expect. Don't ask me why. I don't know. Ask SQLite. So I think I'm gonna delete this one, actually. I do have the ability to delete, don't I? Yes, I do. Awesome. And I'm just going to create another one based on this 140,075. Let's add another 25 miles to that. I really need buttons everywhere. Uh, 100, right? Yeah. If we add 25 miles to that, fuel amount, I don't know. I know it's $1.5 per unit per gallon, and then I put in, I don't know, 35 bucks maybe. That adds up to 23.33 gallons. And that backs into 1.5 miles per gallon fuel efficiency. I guess having 2 records should be enough for an average efficiency. So let's try and calculate that. Where do we want to put this? So far, we have been getting away with model attributes. I don't know if this is the case or if we can... I don't know. I'm gonna try a few things first. See if I can get the number. Because we could just calculate that before rendering the dashboard view in a LiveWire component. Should not be a problem. Instead of having to put it in its own function, if it's simple enough, we'll just do the calculation, the aggregation there and then. Where is the gas tracker? Here we go. Because let's say we wanted to aggregate, let's talk about miles per gallon. So we want to get an average efficiency in miles per gallon. So we could just say fuel entry, or do we go vehicle? We should go vehicle. And then we reach for the fuel entries as a query. And then we can say, if I'm not mistaken, there is already an average aggregator in Laravel. Let me go and find it. I'm pretty sure we have something in the database section, query builder, basic where clauses, advanced where clauses, group limit offset, conditionals, updates, debugging. Maybe it's not in the database, it's in the Eloquent ORM. No? Huh, interesting. Aggregating? Aggregates. It was in database query builder. How did I not see it? See, there is an AVG. So the query builder also provides a variety of methods for retrieving aggregate values like count, mean, max, average, and sum. You may call any of these methods after constructing your query, like this. So we can say AVG and reach for the column that we want. So let's give it a try. So we can say AVG and let's go for miles per gallon, right? What do we get back? 0.0. It's not very useful. Is that correct though? Because if we take 1.1 and we add, where's the add? Minus, oh, is it this one? Okay. 1.9, that's 3. So 3 divided by 2, 1.5. Why am I getting 0.0 as the average? Because this is not the column, it's miles per gallon, you absolute idiot. There you go. Okay, so yeah, 1.475, which rounds up to 1.5. Cool. And if we do it by kilometers per liter, kpl, we get 0.63. Great. We get the number. It's just one line. Very simple. We'll do it when we render the card. Which, by the way, we should create that card right now. Let's do it in the actual dashboard. Although, we might have a problem here. We're gonna have to turn this dashboard into a liveware component. Can we do that easily? We will find out. I guess best way to do that is to, let's try and just create the component with PHP artisan make livewire. Let's actually call it dashboard. Now, what happens if I go to the dashboard class? And instead of using livewire dashboard, I just use resources views, and I just use that. Will it break? Let's find out. Also, I need to go to my web.php file and look for, where's the dashboard? Here it is. Instead of displaying a view, let's do a route get dashboard. Dashboard class. Let's call it dashboard. Let's just comment this one. Okay. Livewire only supports one HTML element per component. I guess we need to specify the, let's see. We go to dashboard, the actual view. This is screwing us over because it's just using a livewire component for the layout, when in reality we can just give let me try this. Why is this not working? How is there multiple component? How? I guess because this then brings in the sidebar. Is it just enough to remove these two lines here? Yeah, totally is. Okay, so my confusion was by default, Livewire is using the app dashboard from, not the app dashboard, the app layout, which is in app components layouts, app.blade.php. That is used as a default for all full page Livewire components. But because the dashboard that we were looking at was not a Livewire component, just a view, it needed to use that same layout as a Blade component. And using that as a Blade, that Blade component inside a Livewire component is just, it breaks things. So we just need to let the Livewire component default to the app layout and just provide the content like this. What happens with the title though? I don't know. I guess in a Livewire component context, we could have just a title property. Where does that end up in the sidebar? Settings, app, sidebar. Is it in the head? Yeah, it's not in here. Marshall's head. Yeah, totally in the title. Yeah. Well, is that or the app name? Whoa. It's either the title or the app name. So that's why it's not really failing. Okay, cool. Now we need to create the cards in this view. We are already, let me go into the Flux UI documentation to see if they have a nice example for this. Yeah, I want something like this. Without the 3 dots, just the title and the number. Let me see how they're doing it. Code. It should be total revenue. Navbar item. Yeah. Is it this? It's not even using a card component? Oh, interesting. So I'm gonna grab this and create a flex gap. I guess. Yeah. Yeah. No, actually no. It's already doing a grid. So I'm guessing instead of doing the grid, this grid, outer rows, we can just copy this one and don't use that loop iteration at all. Oh my god, my eyes are so itchy. One sec. Okay. Must be allergies or something. Like it's itchy and it burns. Or maybe I had something in my fingers? I don't think so. I washed my hands before. Yeah, it must be allergies. Anyway. They're doing something with the iteration number, which I'm not sure what it is. If it's more than one, if it is the first one, max MD. What is MD? Huh. I don't know. Let's just not worry about it. You know what we could do? What happens if we remove the placeholder pattern? What happens then? How does that look? Okay. I don't hate that. What if we use that as is and just add the contents of the card? See how that looks. Which is just a flux subheading, a flux heading, and that's it. Let's try with just that. So the flux heading, it's going to be, I already know what it is. It's what is, hold on. Let me look at the mock-up again. AVG efficiency. For the value, let's just, you know what? Let's have a stat array, and let's reach for AVG. Oop, like that. Now we can go to the dashboard component, have a public array that's right. Stat. Initialize it to an empty array. And do we do this just before the rendering? Or on the mount? Let's try the mount. We already have it here. And let's reach for MPG for now. I'm going to, just for testing purposes, I'm going to reach for the first vehicle. I know this is not how it should be. I just want to see it rendered in page, and then we can worry about where do we get the vehicle ID, etc., etc. Ow. Undefined array key. I'm defining it here. What are you talking? F Y C N C Y.
The stream is now paused for ads.
Perfect timing. With my confused face. Why is it not finding the stat key? It's right there. I'm defining it. Oh. Okay. I see it. Let's wait for the ads before I correct it. I'm gonna go grab some water in this break. Be right back. And I'm back. Am I good? Yeah. You have to do this. If I go for stat, I'm just defining a new array in this function mount. It doesn't exist anywhere else. Die. Looks like crap, but we're getting there. I think now I need to reach for the actual card. And actually, let me just go here. We can probably just add a few classes. Let's go. Actually, let's go to the example that we were looking at. Yeah, let's add the padding. Padding x6, padding y4. Yeah. It's too big, actually. So let's just grab all of these classes, like so. Copy, let's see how that looks. So let's leave the border, rounded exhale. And I guess overflow hitting, it's fine, but this aspect video and relative can stay. And let's make this flex 1. Rounded. Let's make it rounded LG. Padding, background, border. Yep. And let's get rid of the rest. I don't need all of them. Get rid of those. Okay. Looking a little bit better. Except I don't think I need the, I don't want to greed anymore then. Just a flex, gap 6, margin bottom 6. You know what? No, it's not here. Let's remove age full, width full, flex 1. So age full, width full, flex 1, flex call. Wait. Make it gap 6. No. No. Oh, there it is. If you make it flex 1, it just expands to the entirety of the column. Not what I wanted right now. This is too big for my liking. Can we make it smaller? Oh, maybe we can do it like this. Instead of making it a subheading, we can just flux text. Still too big. Why? I need you to look like that. Oh, maybe if I make this one XL. It is XL. Come on. Better. How did we get... We are doing it in the view entries. This part. Distance units, not distance units. The yeah, no, actually distance units. Okay. But we center everything, move the distance units to be a text. Okay. G. I don't want it centered though. I like it more like this. Let's remove that margin bottom. Or make it less of... No, actually, what I want is a class here. Margin bottom 2. And remove the margin bottom from this one. Now I like it. Yeah. Yep. Now we need to make a decision though. Based on distance units from the user, we need to choose which column to aggregate. So let's do that. I'm gonna grab this whole thing actually. Yoink. Go to dashboard. And let's do if paste. If it is miles, then we do that. Otherwise, this stat AVG efficiency equals vehicle view entries AVG KPL. Let's try it out. I'm going to go to my settings, change my units to kilometers. That saves it automatically. There is no save button. Head back to the dashboard and it works. Cool bananas. All right. Fuel efficiency, average. Done. What's next? We have time. Let me check. Last efficiency. Easy. If I can get to there. Although, okay, let's say this stat last efficiency. What the hell? I cannot type today. Efficiency. And we say vehicle view entries just latest. Yeah, latest by odometer. First, and on that we safely check for nulls, and we reach for MPG. Because we are in the miles per gallon section. But if we're not, then we take the miles per gallon. No, actually, no. We just reach for KPL. No calculations required. And now we go to the dashboard and we simply need to just copy this entire div. Yoink. 6 down, paste. Change this to last. And that should be it. Yeah, it is. Although, why are you below? Is it because I am doing a flex call? Of course it is. Ugh. There's that thing at the end. Let's remove it. All right. Average efficiency, last efficiency. Maybe we can do one more. Total distance. Total distance. Okay, so total distance is basically how much we have traveled based on all of the fuel entries. Fuel entries do not store the difference, but we can just take the first odometer, the last odometer, and deduct that. Yeah, we can take the difference from those. Let's see if we can do this quickly. That this is going to be in miles, okay? Now this, that, total distance. Ate it. How you doing? Thank you for joining me. Oh, just so you know, before okay, so I don't know if you have been here before in the past 2 weeks, but I usually do coding first and then game second. However, I feel like that is messing up the algorithm in the YouTube channel. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the coding section and then end the stream on the YouTube side. And then I will continue live on Twitch, but just for playing games. So if you want to follow me along and hang out after the coding section, the link to my Twitch channel is in the description. If you want to follow me there and then transfer over, I'm just going to keep the YouTube channel only for coding content. Total distance. How do we do total distance? So it'll be something like vehicle fuel entries first. No, we can just okay. We can take few entries, pretty much latest, what we did before, latest odometer, first. Oop. And we reach for the odometer here. But that'll be the last odometer. We can just take that and subtract vehicle initial odometer. Right? And that'll be the total distance that we have traveled since we put in the first odometer reading of the vehicle until the last odometer reading in the last fuel entry. I think that should be correct. Now in this part here, I need to turn that to kilometers. What was the value for that? I think we have it in fuel entry. We need to multiply that by that. Let's just make sure that the order of precedence is going to be correct. Simply wrapping this in parentheses, so do the subtraction first and then the multiplication. All right, now let's go to the dashboard template. We need one more card. And I feel we can just use the distance units here. What? Did I not use? Oh, you stayed on, what the heck? As many first? Ah, sorry. First totally is not what I meant. There you go. Why is there a floating point there? I feel like there should not be. Oh, is that 160? No. Oh yeah, it is. Totally it is. Because we're making, if it was miles, and even if I go and change that to miles real quick, it should be like flat. It is miles. What? Why is it showing kilometers? Why is this not? Now I'm confused. Something's wrong here. Is not showing the. Okay. Okay. This should be here. But it's showing miles. Why? Let's go and check. Don't remember the file name. Oh, almost sneezed. Edit vehicle. Where is the settings? Settings. Units. It's a vault component, and that's why I didn't have a class. I'm defaulting this to MI. That's why. And I'm saving it, but I'm not retrieving it from the user at the mount level. And we need a mount here. Really? You're not? Oh, come on.
The stream is now paused for ads.
All right, little break. Okay. Stretchies. Actually, I need to stand up and stretch a little bit. Be right back. There we go. Much better. All right, ads are over. Welcome back. This will be distance units. Why did you lose connection? Oh no, internet is gone. No! Okay. It's back. Man, I need to restart my Wi-Fi. it just goes away randomly at points for no reason at all. Looks like we're good now. Sorry about the drop over there. All right, I was saying distance units. This is, we need to reach for auth. I forgot. Where did I just use it? Here. Auth user distance units. Now it's showing up where it should be, in kilometers. So if I take it, if I make it miles now, if I go back to the dashboard and did I go? I turned it back. It was fine and I turned it back. Oh my god. I don't know why. How? I don't know how I did it. Where are you? Here. Oh, it was this one. All right. Now it's good. It's a flat 100 miles, but when you transform that into kilometers, then it goes into floating point. What I could do then is just format that. It's gonna be a long line, but that's fine. Number, format, with 2 decimal points. Now I just have to go to my settings, change that back to kilometers, and now it's looking good. Do we have time for one more? Yeah, we have 15 minutes. Let's see if we can squeeze in another. Total cost, easy, super easy. In fact, we don't need to decide based on user settings. We just need to say this stat total cost equal to, reach again for vehicle, few entries, sum of total cost. Because that's the column, right? Yes. And let's make that a, let's use number. Currency. Boom. Boom. Almost boom. Total, total forgot to put this like that. Total cost. We have a problem. This is not mobile friendly. I don't like that. Why are you not mobile friendly? What in the crap? Is it the width full? No. Is it the flex 1? No. Is it just being flex at all? Yeah. But then again, crap. I don't get it. Why are you growing? Why are you growing? Let's try this. Which is the container of all the divs. Yes. How does that look? Well, still gross. Oh my god, why? no, why is this looking so bad? I don't like it. I don't like it. Now there is no. Oh my god. I hate this. Hmm. I'm gonna have to figure this out because I don't know how to make this grid of cards wrap around or even just show one below the other. I'm gonna have to tinker with the classes for a bit, and it's not interesting to see. So, yeah. I promise I'll have it figured out by Friday. Cool. For now, let's just celebrate that we have all of the stats that we wanted to see, and now it's just a matter of getting this layout to work. Once we have that, we can focus. Oh, we still have this cost per miles. We'll get this one done on Friday as well. Then once we have all of the cards and laid out correctly, we just need to have the last two things that we need are the vehicle selection at the top. Sorry. So that we know that the stats belong to what vehicle stats are we looking at. And also we are going to need all of the links, buttons everywhere so we can navigate easily. And that's the last thing that we need. Probably gonna finish that on Friday. Yes, we should be able to. It'll be a longer session probably because I do want to just wrap it up on Friday and not carry it over to Monday, because Monday I am going to what did I say I was going to do? Oh yeah, Monday I'm going to install PHP Storm and I'm going to switch and I'm going to set it up the Jeffrey way, the Jeffrey's way. Finally gonna make the jump, install that with Laravel IDEA. And then on Wednesday, I'm going to try out Filament version 4. See if the hype is real. I'm sure it is. But yeah. And by Friday, I should have an idea of what we are going to create next, which is most likely going to be made with Filament version 4. All right. Okay, as I said before, if you're watching on YouTube, the transmission or the session is going to end here. The video is going to end here. If you are live here now and you want to hang out and play video games with me, hang out with me while I play video games. Twitch link, it's in the description. Follow me there. Otherwise, thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your week. And we'll see you Friday. Bye, YouTube. Bye.